Previous lecture, we have discussed about the splitting of peak into a smaller peaks, and it is due to a spin-spin coupling. There are different types of couplings are there. Here we are going to see some types of coupling, vicinal coupling or 1,4 coupling. The proton which occupies 1,4 position with respect to each other, which are attached to adjacent carbons, is known as the vicinal coupling. For example, here these are the protons which are 1,4 with respect to each other, and they are the protons on the adjacent carbon atoms. Okay, so when this proton couples with this, it is called as 1,4 coupling or vicinal coupling. Second type is geminal coupling or 1,3 coupling. When the protons which are attached to the same carbon are coupled, is known as the geminal coupling. Or the 1,3 coupling protons, that is this H1 and H3 must have a different chemical environment, then it will couple with each other. So the proton which are attached to same carbon, but they are 1,3 with respect to each other, and it is called as a geminal coupling. Another type is long range coupling. When protons are relatively placed at 1,5 or 1,6 with respect to each other, then this coupling is called as a long range coupling. Rules of spin-spin coupling. The spin-spin coupling occurs when the protons are having different chemical environment. That is, non-equivalent protons are coupled while equivalent protons are not coupled. The multiplicity of the peak is given by n plus 1, where n is equal to total number of neighboring protons. Relative intensities can be calculated within the multiplet by taking the coefficients of the terms in r plus 1 raised to n, where n is equal to number of neighboring protons. The splitting occurs in a such way that the chemical shift value is not changed. Protons in highly chemical different environment, for example OH, NH, SH protons, does not couple with the neighboring proton. Only OH proton can be coupled under exceptional conditions. Okay, the separation between the peak within a multiplet is known as the coupling constant J, and it is measured in CPS. Mutually coupled protons have same coupling constant. The separation between the peaks within a multiplet is known as coupling constant, is measured in CPS or Hertz. For example, here the PMR spectrum of ethyl chloride is given. And this is the peak due to the B proton, that is CH2 proton, and this is the peak due to the methyl proton. Let's say it is called as the A protons. Okay, so what happens? A is coupled with B. Similarly, B is coupled with A. So it is called as a mutually coupled protons, and the coupling constant of mutually coupled protons are same. So see here, the coupling constant JBA is same as JAB, which is equal to 7 Hertz. Okay, so this is the separation between the peaks within a multiplet is nothing but a coupling constant. Okay, the methyl protons have two neighboring protons, and therefore it splits into a triplet, so which is appeared at 1.8 delta, while the B protons have three neighboring protons, and therefore the signal at 3.4 delta, it splits into a quartet. The separation of the peaks within the multiplet is nothing but a coupling constant indicated by the JAB. Mutually coupled protons have the same coupling constant. We have seen that JAB is equal to JB is equal to 7 Hertz. The value of coupling constant J is independent of the applied magnetic field or radio frequency. J value depends upon the effectiveness of the coupling and relative stereochemical arrangement of the coupled protons. Here are the some examples are given, and their J values are also given. In case of alkanes, and this coupling constant is 6 to 8 Hertz. For cis proton, it is 6 to 15. For trans protons, it is 11 to 18 Hertz. For geminal protons, it is 0 to 5 Hertz. In case of aromatic compounds, for ortho coupling, it is 7 to 10 Hertz. For meta, it is 2 to 3 Hertz. And for para, it is 0 to 1 Hertz. We are going to solve one problem here. A proton appears as a quartet at 2.5 delta. J is equal to 6 Hertz on 90 megahertz instrument. Indicates the line of the position in Hertz of the different lines and give the relative intensities of these lines. So first we are going to calculate the chemical shift value. We know the formula, delta nu into 10 raised to 6 upon nu 0 into 10 raised to 6. So delta nu is nothing but we have to find out the frequency. Okay, and the chemical shift value is given, that is 2.5 delta. So 2.5 is equal to delta nu into 10 raised to 6 divided by, this is the frequency of the instrument used, 90 into 10 raised to 6. So it comes out to be 225 Hertz. Okay, so this represents the average chemical shift from the TMS. So this is the frequency of the middle line. So as J value is 6, we can calculate the frequencies of the other line by adding the 6 hertz or by subtracting the 6 hertz. It is the middle one, 225. Okay, so by subtracting the 6 megahertz, we can get the frequencies of the line. Okay, so here the frequencies obtained are 216, 222, 228 and 234. As it is of the middle line, see here, this is actually the frequency of this middle line. Okay, so for getting the frequency of other lines, it is a quartet, so you have to add +3 for this line while -3 for this line. Okay, so here by such thing, see here, by adding 3 to 225, it is 228 hertz, plus 3 again it comes 234. By subtracting 3 we get 222, again by subtracting 3 we get the 216. Okay, so by subtracting 6 actually we get 216. Okay, so these are the frequencies of the lines we can obtain if we know the frequency of the that is average frequency of the middle line. Okay, by adding and by subtracting. Okay, so it should be a 219. Okay, 219, 222, 228 and 234 are the frequencies of the line. Now the relative intensities can be calculated by using the formula r plus 1 raised to n, where n is equal to the number of neighboring protons. So as it appears as a quartet, number of neighboring protons should be 3. Substitute here 3 and we have got the relative intensity is 1s2, 3s2, 3s2, 1. Okay, now the applications of PMR in organic chemistry. So actually the PMR spectrum is very useful to find out the structure of the unknown compound. It helps to find out the number of types of proton in the molecule, as the number of NMR peak is equal to number of types of proton. The integration of the line, that is nothing but area under the peak, gives us directly the number of each type of proton. Okay, and the position of the signal, that is chemical shift value, tells us about the chemical environment of the proton. For example, if the peak is obtained at 0.9 delta, indicates the methyl proton. Peak at 7 to 8 delta indicates the aromatic protons, while the peak at about 10 to 12 delta indicates the carboxylic acid. Okay, and the multiplicity of the signal tells us about the number of neighboring protons. The PMR spectrum is also useful to detect the hydrogen bonding. If we replace the hydrogen of OH by deuterium, the peak due to OH disappears. The coupling constant gives us the information about the stereochemistry of the proton. If there is a cis coupling is there or trans coupling is there, we can distinguish them by using the coupling constant value. Okay, now consider some problems based on the PMR spectroscopy. So find out the different sets of protons in the following compound. Ethane is given, this is propane, and this is a trans 3 trans 3 hexene, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So it is a trans 3 hexene. Okay, now in compound 1, these two methyls are having the same chemical environment, so all 6 protons of both the methyls gives you only one peak. Here there are two sets of protons are there. Methyl protons gives one peak and CH2 proton gives the another peak. And here there are 3 types of protons are there. This methyl gives you one peak, this CH2 proton gives another peak, and these protons gives a third peak. Okay, so the possible peaks are, see here, AA, AB, 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 because this methyl is identical, this CH2 is identical, and these are identical. Okay, now the another problem, assign the structure of the organic compound with the help of following data. So this problem is given, molecular formula is given. First is we are going to find out the site of unsaturation. So replace Br by hydrogen, we get the molecular formula is C9H12. So it indicates that there are 8 hydrogen atoms less than that of the saturated hydrocarbon, and hence there are 4 sites of unsaturation. As the PMR signal at 7.22 delta corresponds to 5 proton, indicates the presence of aromatic ring, and which must be a mono-substituted aromatic ring, and it also counts the 4 sites of unsaturation. Thus a part of the structure becomes like this. Okay, mono-substituted benzene. The remaining 3 signal, each corresponding to 2 proton, indicates that it must be a side chain containing the 3 CH2 groups joined to each other. Thus the side chain must be of the following type: CH2, CH2, CH2. Okay, CH2, CH2, CH3, and the triplet due to CH2 at downfilled 3.38 delta indicates that this methylene group and electron that this methylene group having an electron withdrawing effect of bromine. Okay, so the another triplet due to CH2 at downfield indicates this CH2 group is attached to aromatic ring. Due to the deshielding of aromatic ring, it appears at a higher delta value. And the quintet due to CH2 at 2.15 delta indicates there must be 4 neighboring protons. So this CH2 must be in between two CH2 groups. So the side chain is CH2, 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 Br. Therefore, by considering all above points, we can assign the structure of the molecule benzene ring which having this side chain CH2, 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 Br. As this CH2 is attached to bromine, highly deshielded, appears at 3.38 delta. This appears as quintet, therefore it must be at the middle, 2.15 delta. It again appears at somewhat higher chemical shift value, that is 2.75, due to the deshielding of aromatic ring, and the 5 protons of aromatic ring there appears at a 7.22 delta. Okay, so such type of problems you can solve. Try to solve it from the exercise. We have finished with this chapter. Thank you.